Happy Monday. Welcome to this week's productivity tip of the week. This week I want to talk about capturing information on the fly. If you haven't met me yet, I'm Laura, your productivity and balance mentor from Managing Myself, and I'm here to help busy, professional, working mums like you to be more productive with your time, to give you a better overall balance. So as I say, today we're going to be talking about how to capture information on the fly. There's so many bits of information that we need to capture in our daily lives, whether that be to do with work or home or the children. And what we really need is one system that works to pull all of that together, because it's when we a bit scattergun approach with capturing information that we tend to drop all the balls. So what sorts of things am I talking about? I'm talking about being in a meeting with your work colleagues and taking an action from that meeting. And how are you capturing the fact that you've got something that you need to get done? Maybe you're just writing it in your notebook at the time, there and then, in the meeting. Maybe you're writing it on a post-it note and then you're sticking that on your screen in the office. Maybe you're in a coffee shop and you bump into somebody you haven't seen in a long while and, I meant to call you. And how are you going to capture the fact that you need to call that person back? Or maybe you're in the car and you're driving somewhere and you go, oh, crikey, I need to buy cat food. I can't forget to buy the cat food. How are you going to capture information in that moment? So hopefully you get the idea that there's all these various sort of touch points within our lives that require us to take information and to track that information in order to do something with it later. But we don't necessarily want to take action on it right away because we're in the middle of doing something else, or maybe we're not able to do it right away because we're driving in the car, for example. So you need a way of capturing information and knowing and trusting in the system that you have, that you're going to be able to come back to it later and it won't get forgotten and it won't get lost. One of the tips I have is, if you are, for example, in the car and you're driving, use the Hey Siri feature and ask Siri to send you an email. If email is one of the places where you spend a lot of your working time, then that's a brilliant place to capture that information. So ask Siri to send you an email with the information. Don't forget to buy the cat food. Maybe it's you have one central notebook that you use, a manual notebook that you use to take your notes in, and anything that's coming into your brain you're putting into that notebook, and then you have a system for transferring things out of that notebook and onto your task management system later on. Or maybe it's that you can use your phone. So, phones these days have become incredibly useful things. I do remember at the first time of getting a smartphone and saying, well, I only want to make and receive phone calls. And of course, the world has moved on a lot since then, and now use the phone for absolutely everything. But there's so many systems and apps that you can use on your phone, even just the simple note system on your phone, to just capture all of those little pieces of information. And once you've come up with a system that works for you about how you're going to capture all these little pieces of information, you then need to establish a habit of assembling them all together, perhaps at the end of every day, to go through all of the various places where you've accumulated these notes and transferring those into your task management system, and therefore they're not getting lost. So the essentials of what I'm trying to tell you today is to set yourself up with a trusted system for capturing information on the fly, so that you know at any point when somebody asks you to do something, or you remember you need to do something else, you have a system for capturing that information and a habit down the road at the end of the day to then take all that information and translate it into your master task management system. And this way you will be confident that things aren't getting missed, and it's a much more productive way to run your time rather than dropping everything in order to do the thing that you just suddenly thought of, and it doesn't interrupt then the flow of your day. That's it for today. I hope you've enjoyed this week's productivity tip. I've got some really exciting things coming down the pipeline. If you want to be the first to hear about everything I've got going on, then make sure you get yourself on the email list. You can do that by visiting the website, which is managingmyself.me, signing up there into the email newsletter, and you'll be the first to hear about everything exciting that I've got going on. And I'll see you next week for another Happy Monday productivity tip of the week. Bye.